Okay, and in the next video we're going to talk a little bit about some basic stances. And you'll see that we've put a couple of belts so they can be seen nice and clearly on the floor here. At home you might be able to use some painting tape or something that can be removed easily without damaging your floor. Masking tape maybe? Yeah, that might be safe.
On a concrete floor you can use chalk.
You can use chalk on a concrete floor. Now the distance of these two lines is about the shoulder width of your student. So if you lie down for me, like you did before, little love, that's it. Now we see that these are one shoulder width apart. Okay, just a little bit wider than a shoulder, and stand up. Because what our students learn is that the parallel stance is the width of their shoulders. But the walking stance, that's about a little bit wider than that. Leave this foot where it is and put that foot there. That's the parallel stance. That's just underneath my daughter's shoulders. Now from here, the walking stance is a little bit wider. Where the parallel stance is measured here, the walking stance is measured in the center of the feet. So her foot will now touch the belt on this side. In your walking stance, when she's punching in particular, her hips should be nice and straight, and her shoulders should be straight with no leaning. Now, here's one for you parents. Can you turn this way and make your walking stance, huh? Make your walking stance facing that way. So don't worry about the belts. That's it. Come back a little bit so that we're on camera properly. Nice big walking stance. Okay, so now put your punch out for me. This leg should be slightly bent so that the knee's over the ankle. We've got our train track width here. Now when the legs are straight, this fist here, if I put a line straight down, will just touch that third toe. So that's the distance. Now if you make your stance a little bit shorter, bring your foot back onto the belt. Whoa, that's way too short because this fist reaches way over the top of the toes. So parents, if you're helping, make your nice walking stance again. Make your nice walking stance again, that's it. We straighten the hips up. We straighten the shoulders up, the punch is shoulder height into the middle, and down this way it'll line up with this toe. Okay, although it's in the center line this way. So come back onto the belt again. So, there we go. Now from here, you can just put your hands on your hips and step forward and touch the outside of that of the belt. That's it, touch the line there. So just inside the lines. And now with these lines on the floor, you can go forward, do another step, and forward, another step, and then backwards. One. Okay, check so that you're touching the belt. That's it. And back again. That's it. Depending on how much room, you might get one more. So back one more. And then forwards. Now the habit you want to get into is checking your stance after you step, not when you step. So you don't want to do this because that will get you in the habit of looking at the floor. You want to keep your head up, step, and then check. Step, and then check. And if you've got something tactile like these belts, you can feel where the stance is. Okay? Now, the other thing that's quite useful about using belts like this is when you step forward, do a couple more steps for me, you'll find that your foot naturally comes in halfway and then naturally goes out again. It shouldn't come all the way to the other foot because that's a bit weird. But just bring your foot halfway in and then go out again. And we call that an out curve line. This way. It goes out towards the stance. Once you get a little bit comfortable with that, don't bring your feet all the way in together, just come halfway in. And once you get comfortable with that, you can do the same thing with your punches. So from here, punch, punch, back, punch, punch. And you can also do it with your low block, crossing on top, low block. Let's go forwards with a low block now. So crossing on top, in front of our chest, and low block. Go. This one crosses with the blocking hand on top of the other hand, with both hands facing outwards, like you're smashing two watches together. Block down this way. Okay, and then the other hand on top this time. There we go, that's it. And go. And backwards. And backwards. So we can do this in a very small amount of space. Oh, there we go. So thinking about that crossing, and mum and dad can be watching. We can also do our knife hand low block, which crosses the same way and cuts across. Do your knife hand low block. That's it. Don't block too far out, that's it. Stop just inside your leg. Oh, crossing on top, crossing in for me. That's it. And backwards. There we go. Okay, so it stops just inside the leg, and this hand always pulls right back to the hip. One more. That's it. Okay, now going forward, we're going to do our inner forearm middle block. Okay, so we cross underneath this time with both of our hands facing outwards. This way, go. Cross under, just like in Sajimaki. That's it. And go. Underneath, underneath. That's it, and going backwards. You can stop with those deliberate mistakes now. That's it. And forwards, go. Under. And forwards. Under. Backwards. Under. Now all of these blocks will stop just inside the shoulder. So they don't block all the way out here, they stop just inside the shoulder. The low blocks, the knife hand low block, and the inner middle block all stop just inside the shoulder. So go forward and backward a few times, change the different movements. For the punches, the hips and shoulders are nice and straight, and for the low block and the middle block, they can be angled a little bit naturally. But don't overemphasize that. We don't want to end up sideways like this, just a little bit naturally like this. Practice that for 10 minutes. Do some different stances, some different movements. Sorry, do some different movements, but maintain the walking stance because you've got these stripes on the floor to use your walking stance. So keep practicing those for 10 minutes and then come back and watch the next video.